Okay, I got some stuff from eBay today in the mail, and some are pencils. Start with the pencils first. These are white Prismacolor pencils, I hope. And yes. And these, I hope, are the broad points, not the fine points. Broad, good, or big. So these are what I use to draw many of my, quote, life drawings with. And as you can see, you can't see in that pile. As you can see in this pile, I was down to the nubs for things. So now I've got 4 dozen. I presume that these are each a dozen. So they do make a thin type as well, and the thin type is what I don't like. Now this is a crapshoot. I never know when I'm buying on eBay from people that sell lots of pens whether they are going to be not as good as I hope with my rose-colored glasses, or are going to be perfectly fine, or are going to be a little bit of both. So let's just do one at a time. Oh, what do you know? It's a vacuum fill, and it has a gold nib. So this is a Sheaffer product that was put out by the Sheaffer company as kind of a lesser brand. And I would not have guessed that this, in the fuzzy out of focus picture that I saw, that this was in fact the vacuum fill. I thought this might be the Wearever or some other brand. The nib looks typical of this type. They were sort of big and moppy and matter of fact, and nothing too overly flexible. But I like this pattern, so yes, yay on this one. We give this a, for what it is, it'll get a B. There's nothing wrong with it. If you like this kind of nib, you'll give it an A. I don't dislike the kind of nib. It doesn't speak to me, but I do like the fact that this is going to go in my collection of weird things that Sheaffer made because it can. I like the chrome trim with the sort of greenish gray stripe business. I had thought, when I saw it in the images, I thought it was going to be one of these kind of pens. This is a Majestic. And I just dropped something on the ground here. I don't know which one it was. Who knows? That one. So I got one right here. I thought it was one of these. But it's not. It's actually, quote, better than that. Okay, one down. Yay. Okay, here is a Wearever. Now a Wearever, sometimes they made gold nibs and sometimes they didn't make gold nibs. Or rather, they made gold nibs and they also made steel nibs. Now what kind of nib does this have? I probably could tell by writing with it. I can't tell by writing with it. Special alloy. So this is not a gold nib, but this it does have a little bit of give, and as far as wear-evers go, there are worse ones that they made, and there are better ones, and this is one that's sort of better. Now I know I can just hear all of you typing, all wear-evers are shitty, and that's your opinion. There are some wear-evers that are better than others, and this is one that, for a steel nib, that's a pretty sweet nib on that one. Okay, 2 down. This one gets the first one was a B. This one gets a C just because it's a steel nib, and even a high-end Esterbrook nib might only get a B in my grading system. 2 down. What's this one? Okay, this is, as you can see, an Eversharp Doric missing its clip, and in fact it's just missing a big chunk of it. Do I have a cap that maybe would fit this one? I might. It has a gold nib. I assumed that this pen was going to be without a nib, without a clip, because it was not pictured, and I did sort of see the edge of this that looked like it was missing. A nice, fine, just very slightly flexible Eversharp nib on this. This is a piston fill version, which I can't fix. Someone maybe can. Maybe I have a cap to match this. Maybe this will make someone happy. I'll give this, I mean, the pen is fine. The nib is fine. I can yank the nib out and put it in a Skyline. It'll be perfectly fine there. It actually is a nib that I like. It's fine, slightly flexible. I like the size of this pen. This is surprising me. It's smaller, and I hope I do have a clip for it. And I'd probably keep it on my desk and use it just as a dip pen like I'm doing right now, except dipping it into ink rather than dirty water. But anyway, maybe I have a cap, maybe I don't. Who knows? So we give this one the nib is worth an A, really. I mean, it's not astounding, but it's fine. But because this is all, I have to grade this one better than the Wearever, because it's a Doric after all. But it's a Doric that I can't fix, so it's going to get a B. If it was working and at a clip, then it would be an A. Okay, another Wearever. Yep, another Wearever. Does this have a gold nib? Now this Wearever, I think, does have a gold nib, and it has one of those clear see-through plastic feeds, which I could tell in the picture because I could see, as you can see here, light coming through. That's usually a sign that there's no feed, but in this case it's one of the plastic feeds. Now the plastic feed is almost as bad as no feed in Wearever's case. Now this is one of those Wearevers. It's a button fill. It feels like a dual fold, and unfortunately it's missing the back blind cap, which I don't know whether I have or not, and who knows. But the nib is a nice nib. Again, it's similar to the one I just tried with the Eversharp, slightly flexible gold nib. So it's a C. Save this one for last. Okay, this is, what is this, a Parquet? A Moore? It's fluted, or is it just an off-brand? It's very weird. I don't know whether the shape is meant to be the way it is, or whether it got screwed up. But the end of the barrel and the end of the cap, it sort of has this hourglass figure to it. Now that could be the way it's supposed to look, and because it's you see it on both ends, I have a feeling that that is how it's supposed to look. Because they are sort of fluted with a, like a ionic column. You know, they're fluted, as you can see, but they have this little rounded top, like the Eversharp Doric is fluted, but it just goes flat off. This one, because it splays out like an actual column does, the flutes kind of look like that. It does have a gold nib, which is, oh wow, it's a, I wonder if this, it's a Swan nib, maybe Todd and Company. So is this a Swan pen for some reason? It would say it on it. They were not shy about saying who they were, but it doesn't say anything. The nib is really rather uninteresting, though. It's interesting. This is a very interesting pen, and it has, I don't know if this is supposed to be black. It had maybe, who knows what it had on, oh dear. It has a pattern here that looks like it's a, it looks like the pattern you see on a Doric. So who knows what this is? This is a very weird pen. I'll give it, it has a nice nib, perfectly good nib, weird pen. It's going to get a B for some reason. I don't know what it is. This is stumping the band. What do you know? Okay, what do we have here? We have a Wearever, 3 Wearevers. And this looks like it has a steel nib. Yep. Through the rust, you can see that it says gold plate. Now, a pen like this doesn't have all that much value to me, but sometimes they have a pressure bar in here that I can yank out and fix another pen. They come in handy that way. There's nothing wrong with the pen. I mean, but because it has a rusty, crappy nib, I'm going to give it a D. See, I can't even write with it because it's so crappy. This gets a D. I can put a nice nib in it. Does it have an inner cap? It does not have an inner cap. So if you fill it up and put ink in it, it will dry out because it's not airtight. So that's why it gets to be a D. It might be a good, because of it's missing its inner cap, it might be a good place to put a Frankenpen dip pen nib that I use at my desk. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I could turn some light here so I can see what it looks like. Okay, 2 down. This is a Epenco, Eagle Pen Company, and it has all sorts of incrustations on it. Steel nib. Now, oh, this was supposed to have a pencil on the end. I was wondering why this is supposed to be a pen-pencil combo. And like many Epenco pens combos, there's threading back here as well as up here, so that when you're using the pen side, you can do that to keep the pencil point from drawing on the ceiling or something. I don't know why they did that, but it's threaded back there, so it won't come off. Okay, because it's missing that, it goes down to a D, but it's fine. It'll go in my drawer of the Penco bits. Lastly is this large Schaefer with missing its clip, owned by someone by the name of Claude Barr, Barr. And it has a big old lifetime nib. This is one of the later ones that they made based on the section here. Though the clip is further down than the later ones are, so it's one of these things that sort of spans the decades. A rather nice nib. Again, a little tiny bit of flex to it. Actually, it's not really flexible at all, but I think the thick line is just because I'm pushing it into the paper. Do I have a cap that can fit on this pen that is not missing its clip? The threads don't screw. Now, is that because of the barrel threads or the cap threads? What do you think? Write your answers below. Let's try another cap. Come on. There's a cap right here. Well, I think it's, who knows what it is. Maybe a little bit of one, a little bit of another. So this pen, because it doesn't have a clip, is one that I wouldn't carry around with me, but it might be a perfectly good pen to put at my desk, keep at my desk, and put a dip pen nib into for a Franken-pen. This nib is really quite lovely though, so maybe I'll see if I have a cap that'll match. So all in all, I think I did okay for my grab bag lot. This is the one that I'm most happy about because of the fact that I didn't expect this one. This was a surprise. So hopefully I'll be able to fix this up and get it going. I should be able to fix most of these up. And then I'll take a nap and talk to you another time. Bye.